Like, I knew that eventually I would deal with kids not being kind to my children. Hey guys, 110-degree heat wave is over. In all seriousness though, that was absolutely diabolical. Oh look, lingerie in its natural environment. First we were sick, which seemed like an eternity, and then it was 110-degree for like a week. And now half of Southern California is on fire, so the air quality's been absolute shite. Today is the first day where it is like a decent temperature and the winds have changed and kind of all the smoke that's been everywhere has left the area. I've just been inside the house for entirely way too long. I had an appointment for Astrid, ate something in the morning, so I just figured since it's not too far, I would just walk. It feels great to be outside. Feels like I've been inside the house for a month. Good job, buddy. Where should we go, Karen? Oh, I think I know. I just had a tough learning experience as a parent. We went to the park and then I had all intentions of vlogging at the park, but it felt like every single child in the neighborhood was at the park because they too probably were going to the park for the first time, and who knows how long because it's been Satan's asshole outside. So we get this a lot where Kieran is the same height or even taller than a lot of older children, like children that are 4, 5, 6. Like there was a 6-year-old there today that he was taller than. And, you know, obviously Kieran's not going to act like a 6-year-old. So there's always that question of like, is he okay? Like, you know, from the other kids. And then I have to explain like, oh, he just turned 2, you know, he's still kind of a baby. And then it's always inevitably like followed up with a parent saying like, oh my gosh, he is so tall. And it's like, yes, he's taller than 95% of children his age. So yeah, he looks a lot older than he is, but he doesn't act that old, you know. He's still learning to socialize. At this age, they don't really do reciprocal play. It's more like Damien plays. It's more like parallel play where they play beside other children. So oftentimes a lot of like older kids won't really understand that why is this big child acting like a baby, you know, essentially. There was a bright pink soccer ball at the park and Kieran, of course, he zeroed in on it and wanted to play with it. I'll call it Group A and Group B. Group A, they didn't understand why Kieran wasn't like throwing the ball back to them and just kind of like picking it up and running and laughing with it. And at that point, they decided that he was yucky and like they said ew to my son and they're like, ew, what's wrong with him? Get the ball, get it before he does, keep it away from him. And it just like really broke my mom heart because I was that kid. You know, and I wasn't even much younger than kids who bullied me like that. But I was definitely the child that people were, ew, keep it away from her. You know, and it just kind of like brought me back to that hurt child, you know. I didn't really know what to do in that moment. I kind of just froze because I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened to me as a kid, and I just cried. Granted, Kieran didn't know that they were playing keep away. He just thought they were, you know, having fun with him, so he was like running back and forth between the kids and laughing and stuff, and that's kind of when they were like, ew, what's wrong with him? Like, ew, he's not supposed to be having fun doing this. So that was Group A. And then apparently the ball actually belonged to Group B, which was this other family. And the dad of this family saw what was going on and he went and he's like, here, let's take our ball back. I know this guy's never gonna see this vlog, but like, he made me cry because he took his ball back and gave it to my son. And then he came over and he's like, hey, what's your son's name? And we had a conversation, and, you know, I was telling him, oh, he just turned 2, and of course the whole, like, oh my goodness, he's so tall. Yeah, and then his son, who is like 5 turning 6, he explained to his son, he's like, this is Kieran, he's 2. He's only 2, so you want to play with him like he's 2. And then the kid was so nice to Kieran. He's like, come on, Kieran, let's play with the ball. Oh my gosh. It's like my mom heart was ripped out and bandaged up all in like the same 5 minutes. Sorry, I don't know why it made me so emotional. Like, I knew that eventually I would deal with kids not being kind to my children. But I didn't think it would happen when he's 2, you know? I mean, what do you do as an adult in that situation? I mean, the father was kind when he approached the children that were not so nice to my son, and he's like, here, we're gonna take our ball back, thank you. And I don't know, like, what should I say in those moments? Because Group B, both of the parents were like right there with the kids, like sort of keeping an eye, like I would. And then Group A's parents were just like far, far away sitting at picnic tables. So obviously they couldn't really, I don't know, assess what their kids were saying to other kids and stuff. So like, at that point, do I say something? Like, do I say like, hey, we don't treat our friends like that? Or like, what do you do in that situation? This is new territory for me. Anyway, that was the unexpected mom lesson I had today. I really wasn't expecting that. Anyway, back to this morning. Astrid's vet visit. Oh my gosh. I took her in because, you know, she's my second oldest senior after Faticus, who was also her bonded mate, because I wanted to do just a senior blood panel on her and then check a couple of things, and she's been inappropriately urinating, so I wanted to make sure she didn't have some sort of infection. And they were like, you know, she has a heart murmur, right? And I'm like, yeah, the vet before said something about that several years ago, and then he had an x-ray of her chest and he said, oh, she's fine. Like, said it was a benign heart murmur. This vet, she's like, Astrid does have some teeth that need to be removed, and I agree. I am 100% for removing the rotten teeth. And she's like, but before we can do that, I really want to do an x-ray. And what is this? Blood pressure, x-ray, and then they want to bring in an ultrasonographer for a cardiac consult with an echocardiogram. And all of that, because there's 2 estimates here. The one you saw was like $1,200. And then add to that the ultrasonographer coming in, that would be an additional $800. So we're looking at almost $2,000 of testing when I just wanted to get a senior blood panel. So I went with the senior panel and then a swab of one of her ears that seems to be bothering her. That wasn't quite as expensive. I'm gonna have to eventually do the heart stuff to take her teeth out, because they said it, like, depending on what her heart status is, like, she would respond to anesthesia very differently from a healthy cat. I told the vet tech, I was like, maybe we can do this in increments. And she was like, oh, trust me, girl, I would do that too. Oh, thank you. Yes, throw those estimates away. You guys are so happy to be outside again. Oh my goodness. That's your spot, Astrid. You just love that spot. Oh my gosh, there's so much like ash. Oh yeah, I have a lot of cleaning to do out here. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take them to get the fires contained around here. I know that the winds have definitely changed directions, so it's not quite as smoky as it has been around here, but I still smell it. It's just not as bad as it has been. Yeah, apparently a serial arsonist started this fire that isn't too far from here, and it has burned up over 40,000 acres. That's a interesting tidbit about the fires here. Anyway, we are gonna do a bunch of stuff outside this weekend because we've been all cooped up, and I think we're getting a soccer ball and a little net for Kieran coming tomorrow. So we're probably gonna take that to the park this weekend and try to teach him to kick some goals. Anyway, I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.